Hello, my name is Michael Worrell, and I'm the president of Genetic Potential and the designer of the VertiMax training system. If you're a strength coach or trainer watching this video, I appreciate your time and I commend you for continuing to investigate new ways to improve the speed and performance of your athletes. If you're a high school coach and you really want to help your athletes now and in their future endeavors, VertiMax is your answer. Our training system is not just more of the same. VertiMax is something new and different. It'll get you speed and performance results you're not getting now, and I assure you, you'll see these results where they count during competition. Those are pretty bold statements, and you're probably thinking, okay, why is VertiMax something new and different, and how is it going to produce new personal best? Let me start by saying this: getting out of the blocks, first step quickness, the vertical jump, speed, and the ability to make game-winning competitive moves are athletic capabilities that can be summed up in 4 words: lower body reactive power. It's the most vital attribute any athlete can possess. It's the foundation of superior athletic performance. It's what makes plays. It's what wins games. Up until now, you might have thought lower body reactive power was genetic, and to a large extent it is, but it can be markedly improved with the right kind of training, a new and separate type of training known as light load, high speed training. Light load, high-speed training is resisted training that allows athletes to rapidly accelerate and attain high velocities on every repetition. And that's the most effective way to recruit the fast twitch fibers that are most responsible for creating explosive power. If you want to be fast, you need to train fast. And that's what you get with VertiMax. It's the world's best light load, high-speed training system.
Hi, my name is Ray Ganon, and I'm a head strength conditioning coach at the Division I level, and have been so for the past 27 years. And in all that time, I have never had a training tool like the VertiMax that produced results in first step acceleration, speed, strength, and quickness as quickly as the VertiMax. My players love the training effect that it produces. As a matter of fact, when we do our testing, every time a player reaches a new PR in the vertical jump, they yell VertiMax. I highly recommend it.
Training on VertiMax is the absolute best way to develop lower body reactive power. Not only does it improve athletic speed, but since it's loaded training, it also develops strength. This new training technique is much more effective than plyometrics, and as a matter of fact, it can completely replace almost all plyometric training. Light load, high-speed training is the one type of training, and VertiMax is the one piece of equipment that will make a difference your athletes can feel and you're going to see. VertiMax is now the go-to device for the nation's top coaches, trainers, and professional athletes. But I'm not asking you to just take my word for it. Before I get into the mechanics of how and why of VertiMax, I'd like to show you a pretty impressive list of the current VertiMax users. It's the device the big guys are using, and here's just some of them. 13 NFL teams, including 4 of the last 5 Super Bowl champions, 12 NBA teams, including last year's champion, the Miami Heat, and more than 70 Division I programs currently use VertiMax. It was in the weight rooms of 21 of this year's top 25 ranked Division I football programs and 19 of this year's top 25 ranked Division I basketball programs. The October issue of Muscle and Fitness magazine called VertiMax the top explosive training device available. 3 recent issues of Sports Illustrated had feature articles showing world-class athletes training on VertiMax. When sports writers are assigned to do an article on a world-class athlete, they seem to always wind up filming a VertiMax training session. There's a big difference between strength and reactive power. When you're competing one-on-one, reactive power is everything. We all know that absolute strength, developed through heavy resistance training such as squats and benches, is essential. You have to have it. But the key to superior athletic performance is not how much force an athlete can generate, but how fast he can generate it. How fast an athlete can generate force is called rate of force development, RFD. And maximizing RFD provides the competitive advantage. It's just another way of saying lower body reactive power. It makes plays, it wins games, and it's what VertiMax will give you. The latest studies by exercise physiologists confirm that the best way to develop power at high speeds is to train at high speeds using light loads. Attaining the maximum speed on every resisted rep is essential to properly recruit and develop the type 2 fast twitch muscle fiber that creates explosive power. However, It's not possible to do this with conventional weight training. When weight plates are at rest or in motion, they have too much mass and inertia for athletes to attain the speed required to recruit and train the type 2 fiber. Athletes training on Vertimax can rapidly accelerate to competition speeds, which recruits more type 2 fiber and is more effective at developing speed strength. Another major advantage Vertimax provides is the fact that it's a functional training system. There is no competitive move that does not involve movement in more than one plane and using multiple muscle groups working together simultaneously. With the exception of 1 or 2 Olympic lifts, most weight training exercises isolate only 1 or 2 muscles, and the movement is restricted to a single plane and a constant axis. Unfortunately, that's not the way we move in competition, and that's why weight training is often not efficient at conditioning the whole body to work together to produce power during competition. So it makes sense. If you want to improve competitive sports moves, you should conduct sport-specific training. You should replicate the basic motion and use all the relevant muscle groups involved simultaneously. Now that's a lot easier said than done unless you have a Vertimax. Vertimax is the only training system that can load up to 8 different body locations simultaneously and then allow athletes to perform sport-specific motions. Vertimax training simulates what you're going to do on the field of play. It conditions not 1 or 2, but all muscle groups involved, allowing the Vertimax training response to transfer much more effectively to actual competition. You won't have to just hope your time in the weight room is doing some good. With Vertimax, you'll see the results showing up every time in competition. I'm confident we both know a lot of really strong athletes that aren't quick. On the other hand, how many athletes do you know with a 36-inch vertical leap that are slow? Probably not a single one. That's the difference between strength and reactive power. In competition, reactive power is everything. Vertimax engineering includes specially designed components and 17 patented functions under the platform. This design provides essential kinetics and unique benefits not available on any other system. When you speak with our training department, they'll describe each of these in detail. If your goal is to develop the best athletes possible, Vertimax should be part of your training regimen. If it's not, your athletes are going to have significant athletic potential that will never be developed or seen in competition.
Well, my son Greg is just now 13, and when we stumbled across your product, he'd already been training for well over 2 years. But all I can say is wow. I mean, because I couldn't believe my eyes, because everything that we were trying to accomplish with weights, plyometrics, and other pieces of equipment was now in one driveway-sized package. The coaches would always tell me that he was already one of the most explosive athletes that they had seen. And yet with that, after only 90 days on a Vertimax, he was able to drop 0.6 of a second off his 40 time while gaining 13 pounds. I mean, to me, that's the best of both worlds, getting faster and bigger simultaneously. But what really blew me away was that all of this happened after already 2 years of extensive strength and explosion training. See, all the other pieces of equipment simply failed to work for the already highly trained athlete.
If you're a college strength coach, Vertimax is the one piece of equipment that will make a difference your athletes can feel and their coaches are going to see. And they'll see it during competition. If you're a high school sports coach, we know great coaching and superior athletes will take you to the playoffs. And we promise you, Vertimax will give you a much better athlete to work with. Within a month, you're not going to believe they're the same athletes. They're going to be exhibiting abilities to start, accelerate, jump, and cut that you've never seen before. After Vertimax training, your athletes will be getting off the ball and closing on the play faster than they ever have before, and that's going to translate to more wins. If you're a professional speed trainer, Vertimax will give you a whole new training dimension, expand your client base, and increase your revenue. New personal bests are guaranteed. I appreciate your valuable time and your interest in the Vertimax training system. If you have any questions or would like to take advantage of the Vertimax training system, please call us at 1-800-699-5867 or email us at win@vertimax.com.